like to introduce the one, the only, me.
Hey, squiddies! It is Dre, Tattoo Squid Podcast, and I'm with Malice After Midnight with Steve, Tina, and Christina. How y'all
Hello,
doing? Even though we
hello.
don't see
Hello.
you, but
Hello.
we're all gonna hear you. So, say hi to the fellow squiddies out there.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Squiddies.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So, we're here talking about Malice After Midnight with their outrageous love hearing about the more treacherous stories of killers and Satanists and whatnot going over.
Oh, yeah. We got cannibals on there.
Cannibal.
A little bit of everything.
You know, oh my. You know, there's a whole bunch of like bears and chairs and everything else. But tell us about, I'm not going to say tell us about Malice After Midnight. I usually do that towards the end. But tell us like about yourselves. Like if you had to go and put yourself in a nutshell of saying, oh, my name is so-and-so, I like doing this and
Yeah.
long walks on the beach.
Yeah. All right. I'm Steve. I'm one of the hosts, and I'm married to Tina, and Christine's my sister. 41. Love rockabilly music.
5'8".
Yeah, right. Love rockabilly music. Into old cars. Got a bunch of old cars. That kind of stuff. We just love true crime. Well, actually, Tina got me on true crime after we got married because she watched so many shows on the ID channel. I just got hooked, and that's kind of how we started the podcast. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell, I guess.
Yeah, well, I'm Christine. I'm another host. And I mean, I don't know. I work in the medical field. I don't recommend that to anybody. Not right now, anyway. It's crazy. A lot of crazy people out there. I have 2 kids. It's just me and my boys.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
just recently started doing DoorDash. So
make a little
Hey,
extra.
listen, I've done DoorDash as well, and
hey, I like it.
Yeah,
Make a few extra bucks.
it's good. Like I like the fact that you can go to like a restaurant or deli or what have you, and just drop it off. Now, I've recently, well, not recently, like maybe a couple of weeks ago, because it's been too fucking cold to go out there.
Yeah.
That's why
And
people are DoorDash.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I had something where I had to go and shop at like say a Dollar
Oh, yeah.
General.
Like
And
the
I'm like,
Instacart.
Yeah. It's like, I had to go in there, pick out the stuff that they wanted. I'm like,
Mhm.
are you that fucking lazy?
I know. I don't think I'd want somebody
Hey.
doing that for me.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's kind of
if
weird.
it pays good enough, I will do your grocery shopping. I sure will. Yes,
I don't
will.
even like doing my
She's
own
always
grocery
listening.
shopping, let alone somebody else's. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
I'm like, shit, like if I get screwed up, I'm like, I'm not going to get paid. Well, I mean, you do, but, it's going to be kind of weird,
Yeah, just what if it's some like weirdo messing with your groceries? That's what's the only thing about me is like I wouldn't want some like meth head.
I'm not
delivering my
saying
groceries.
I'm having somebody get my groceries. Like I'm gonna get my own groceries,
You
but I'll
get-
get somebody else's groceries.
You get
Well,
like
yeah.
the Oreo packet. You know how it peels back? It's like
And then
it's been peeled back and there's like 3 cookies missing.
Yeah. Oh, there's a mystery with the Oreo double stuff. So,
That's
oh wait. No, we could. I gotta tell you this story because I was listening to there is another better podcast, and there's like 3 guys. The name Ghosty. Oh shit, I forgot the fucking names. Anyway, Ghosty, Guesty, and somebody else. I forgot what it was. And then so they were saying that Ghosty was like, oh, you know what? I got this double stuff and all that. And every time I open up, there's 3 or 4 missing. He goes, this is a fucking travesty. He goes, there's some kind of conspiracy going on with the fucking double stuff. And they just went on with this for like,
Well, that pack is resealable. Somebody's probably at the store.
They're
opening
probably
them up, and
some
taking
little
them.
kids probably gotten their parents like, nah, you can't have it. They put it back.
Mhm.
And they
Yeah,
done-
I know,
They
it's
done, they done
like-
took cookies out of there.
Oh yeah.
so I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm like, I'm going to go and see because they're over in Iowa or something. I'm not even sure, but I'm like, you know what? Let me go get a double stuff. And I come home. My girlfriend's like, "What'd you get?" I'm like, "Double stuff." And she goes, "Why?" And I'm like, "There's a conspiracy. I want to find out if we got it too." And all of a sudden she goes, "All right, let's see." Then she goes, "It's like Dre. There's like 4 missing." I'm like, "See,
Oh my gosh.
conspiracy."
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yep.
Maybe they're just
Wow.
stiffing everybody on the packaging. They're trying to save money.
I am not gonna get no sponsorship from Oreos now. I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, "What the hell, conspiracy? What the hell are you talking about?" You know. But Pringles, hello, Pringles. How you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sour
I
cream.
love every flavor they have. They got new flavors too, and I need to try them. They got like some wacky fucking shit going on, and I want to try every one of them. But even though I had dinner already, I'm still fucking hungry.
I'm always hungry. And I guess Tina, tell them about yourself too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm Tina. I'm the third host, and I'm married to
Wow.
Steve. And Christine's my sister-in-law. And during the day, I'm a teacher. I teach 4th grade language
Okay.
arts. So y'all pray for me. No, I was good.
Yeah, really, really.
Wait, what grade? What grade?
4th grade.
Okay, we'll pray for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad. They're still sweet at 4th grade.
Yeah, but that's
It's
because
right
the
there.
teacher behind your back, they're gonna throw some shit. You know.
Yeah, that's right at the edge.
Yeah, it's right on the edge. You know, we all done that shit. You know, come on now.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when it's substitutes coming in.
Oh my gosh.
Dead
yeah.
meat.
Oh man,
Dead
substitute
meat.
was the best time.
Yeah, dead meat. They're
We
like, oh,
had a substitute one time. I don't know who she was, and if I don't know if she would ever listen. If she is, I'm sorry. We were in high school, and for some reason, like the one kid decided to pretend like he was deaf, and he started signing. And she's like, "I don't understand you," and he's like. They're like, and she's like, y'all understand him. And then some girl was like, yeah, when we were in kindergarten, we had to learn sign. And I was like, and it just kept going and going.
Oh
I
my
thought, this is
god.
It was like this elaborate.
Oh my
But then he
elaborate
he
ruse.
confessed later, and she's like, I knew it wasn't true, but I thought, what the heck?
That's bad. I mean, that's bad. The worst thing we did, we had a substitute who had narcolepsy. So every time we had her, she'd just go to sleep in class. And we just sat there and let it happen. And then when she was asleep, we'd just do whatever we wanted. Like, it's the worst thing we did.
oh man, it's like substitutes. Like they'll sit down. Like mine would be like, you know, they'll sit in a chair and then they put their feet up. It's like, all right, roll call. You know, I'll ask for your name and like here, you know, whatever. He's like, okay, I just sit there. All right, nah, I don't give a shit. He goes, I'm
Let me get
hungover
quick.
anyway. You know, I'm like, all right, it's New York. Yeah. Go in there hungover. It's like watching the movie Summer School.
Yeah.
You know, that is like the best movie ever, I tell you. Yeah. It's like you watch Summer School, Mark Harmon being the gym teacher, and
Okay. Yeah. I know which one you're talking about. now.
yeah, and Kirstie Alley and all that, and then
Yeah.
every student is like downright, you know, slacker, you know, for a better lack of a word or something, and and then all of a sudden, you know, they're like they had to go through summer school, and he's like, oh fucking shit, I'm supposed to go on vacation. So you know, him and his dog, and you know, they go into stuff, and you got some outrageous like fucking people in there. You know, German. No, what's it? A German? I think it was a German exchange student, which looks like a runway model. And the two geekiest guys in there, we call it that love horror movies like I do. You know, it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yes. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what's your favorite movies actually? You know, figuring that you're doing true crime, and you know, do you have
None
like
of mine are crime movies.
Nope.
no, I know, I
well,
wasn't saying that, but I mean, is there like some kind of like dark, like, you know, horror or
Okay. Yeah.
you
Oh,
know?
we're all about horror. We grew up
Oh, yeah.
watching horror movies. Me and Christine did.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is always going to be Halloween 1 and 2. And I
Okay.
say Halloween 1 and 2 because it's like, you know, that same night, the second one. So it's almost, to me, it's like one movie.
Yeah, it's like a part 1, part 2 kind of.
Yeah. But that's my favorite horror movie. That one. And well, I like the old ones, man. Like the original House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price.
Oh yeah.
I'm big into Vincent Price. Abominable Dr. Phibes.
Are we just talking about our horror movies, or just
Well, no,
movies
just, I
in
mean, what are
general?
some of
Yeah,
yours?
whatever.
I mean,
whatever.
I don't know if I have an absolute like a favorite, but I watch all kinds of stuff.
What's your
So-
favorite movie right now?
Oh, I don't know.
I know you guys did the
I really don't
rundown.
know.
We call it between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I listened.
I don't know if
to
I
pretty
have
much
a
every one of
Well,
your
you like
episodes.
The Conjuring.
I like the Conjurings. Yeah, I could sit and watch those over and over.
What
But
in your top 5?
oh, I don't remember like my top 5 movies of any
No,
different.
he's talking about like what are horror movies.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Hey, I don't know.
Halloween, I think, was my number 1.
Yeah, we're pretty big on that one. We grew. I mean, that was, I don't know, kind of just a go-to as a kid was
Well,
Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't really have like a. Well, I mean, my favorite horror movie would have to be Poltergeist, the
Yeah.
original
Oh
Poltergeist.
yeah.
But I love it's suspenseful, and a lot of people hate it because the way it ended or whatever. But I love The Village. I can't help it.
Oh,
The Village was
M.
good.
Night Shyamalan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
was
love
a
it.
good one.
It
I'll
made me
do.
mad,
Yes,
very mad, and I wouldn't watch it again
understand.
for a while. But I do like it.
I love.
Yeah,
I
to the
love
part where they was it one person I think went through all the trees and
Mhm.
got over the
Yeah,
wall.
they sent the
and
blind.
it's
They sent the blind
modern
girl
day.
out.
You know?
Took
Yeah,
the blind girl because she didn't know.
because she wouldn't be able to know it was modern when she got out there.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, it struck me odd. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? I'm like,
it. I
Yeah.
know. I was a little mad at first, and then I went back and I was like,
I
but
just
it's
like it too
really a
much.
good
I really
movie.
like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too.
especially the monsters. I mean, they were probably like man-made as it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think they were. Yeah, I get
I mean,
it.
the whole premise is kind of crazy. Like, there's no way that you could really start your own village or whatever, and have everybody thinking it's like the 1800s. And I mean,
Yeah,
it just couldn't last forever. But
I mean, something would fly over.
well, they paid.
No, yeah, they did-
They,
they
paid,
had-
they
they
say
were
in the movie
paying?
that they paid money for planes not to fly over.
Okay.
You know,
See, I never
the one
understood
guy
that
was
part.
rich.
Yeah.
And the preserve is named after him. It was his
Oh,
dad.
okay.
Yeah, his dad was rich.
Yeah.
Well, that
they
makes
were-
sense then.
But if we're just
Yeah.
going like movies, the Blues Brothers is my favorite movie. That has nothing to do with
there
horror.
you
But
go.
I love that.
Dan Aykroyd.
John
Uh,
Belushi.
Yeah. But we call it. So you ever seen the Ghostbusters? I haven't watched the latest one, but yeah.
Well, no spoilers then, but we watched it. It was
Yeah,
good.
it
It was
was
good. If you
good.
like the original two movies, you'll like this one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I really
it
thought
was very good.
Yeah, it's
Anybody,
it's all
anybody a
fan
fan
service.
of the women one?
I liked it.
I
I
liked,
liked
it.
it.
I liked it.
I
I
didn't.
had
I
no
didn't have a
problem with
problem with it at all. I thought it was really good.
It got a lot of hate, but I thought it was good.
Yeah, I liked it too. It was like it had like all the aspects. The only thing I think they should have changed a little bit, and I know they put this guy in there for the women.
Thor?
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
They put him in
Man.
as the secretary. I understand
Yeah,
that. Okay,
yeah.
I understand that.
That's my
I
man.
can't be
Yeah.
whatnot. But if they want to go and do like an all-girl, whatever, they should have had Janice there, like the original.
But what they should have did is they should have made it a sequel.
Yeah.
Like instead of they made it like they were the original Ghostbusters and the other ones didn't exist. They it was like a reboot. They
Mhm.
should have made it just a sequel, like they were the new Ghostbusters, like
Or
Yeah.
the
even a
next
different chapter, or
like in the next
yeah.
generation or something, like somebody
or
picking up the
alternate
mantle.
reality.
or yeah. But Marvel fans would get that, but I don't know if like like with multiverse and stuff. But I don't know if the regular Ghostbusters fan would understand the alternate
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah, probably not. But don't mind me. I'm just writing down stuff. It's like being a psychiatrist almost. But no, because I do folks, I do a thing which you've seen on Twitter a couple of times probably. But I mean, I do like episode art for each episode.
Mhm.
So whatever stuff that we talk about, I get it from over here. Then I go and put it the episode art, and I try to make a collage kind of thing. and-
Awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
So
and-
did you design some of your tattoos then? Your own tattoos or?
No, actually, the guy we called my tattoo artist, and he did all the stuff, and there was like stuff other people were like, listen, I like that shit that's on the wall. Give me that one, give me that one that's
Yeah.
on that wall, But he had like ideas and wrote everything down, and he has stuff from his tattoo book that he had that he would study and.
Oh yeah, some like original art.
Yeah, so it's like his stuff that he thought about and everything else. Like I have one that he calls the Lady God, and it's like pretty much. I'm not saying it's Jesus, but it's more because it has the thorn crown,
Yeah.
around the head, but then the eyes are all like hollow, kind of like you don't see pupils and everything else, and it was just like in that bloody tears and everything else going on. So it was I'm like, all right, we'll go with that, and. But any of you have tattoos? How about that?
I've got a couple. I've got one with my daughter's name on it, and then I got one. It's a
Let me
skull.
explain it first. He was going to go get a tattoo, and he goes, "What should I get?" And I said, "Anything but a skull. I don't really like skulls." And then he burst in with what?
Yeah, it's a pretty good sized skull with its mouth open, and it's got dice for eyes, like red dice for eyes.
Oh, okay.
and it's got like racing flags underneath it.
Cool.
Not that I'm controlling or anything. He was
Yeah.
just like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "Well,
It was
you
like an
know."
original.
Yeah.
I mean, not an original. I didn't design it, but a guy I know up here does tattoos, and he's a real good artist and does. Well, he actually done some airbrushing on some of our hot rods and stuff. And anyway, he did the tattoo. It was just an original thing. It's not super fancy. I kind of wanted an old school looking one.
Well, I had a thing. My mom was like against skulls as it is too. So she was like, "Listen, if you're gonna get a tattoo, don't get anything with skulls." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." So when I was married, my wife at the time, she went with me, and then she's like, "Listen, I gotta go through this because your mom's gonna get pissed. You're gonna get skulls because you are gonna get skulls, and I gotta do something about it." I'm like, "Okay."
Christine's got a couple.
I do. I got about 4. And my very first one. It's funny you mentioned flash art, like the stuff on the walls.
Yeah.
That was my first tattoo.
Well, yeah, mine too. That's what it was,
Yeah, so we were actually in Tennessee. It was when Jennifer was up there.
Yeah.
And when you got that one, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, one with my daughter on it.
Yeah, so I got a 3-leaf clover on my ankle because I was like, I'm of age. I'm gonna get a tattoo because everybody else is getting one. So that's why I got that one.
Yeah.
But then I have some stars on my back, and I have a rose on my right arm, my forearm,
it's black
for my grandma Shirley, and then I have Lily of the Valley on my left arm for my grandma Esther they passed away. So.
Yeah, my mom's mom and our dad's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
I plan on getting more.
I was gonna get more, and
I
I don't know now. I've thought about getting more, and then with my job, I got to keep it kind of covered up. So
yeah, I hear you. Yeah, same thing with me. But then I'm like, I don't really have much room, because I'm like, all right, I got stuff on my back. I even got the squid on my back to get done. I'm like, I gotta get something that resembles the podcast that I'm doing.
Oh, your skull tattoo. Where is that?
Skull? Well, no, I didn't get a skull one yet.
Oh, you didn't get?
No, because my wife, we call it. She's like, listen, we'll get the Viking and do that instead. She'll like that. And I'm like, all right, cool. That's my high school fucking mascot as it is. So it's good. I always want to get that. So, but I do have like couple of skulls, but it's like more like I have, I don't know if you can see it. It's more like little eyes, like, skull eyes going all the way up and down.
Uh-huh.
And a friend of mine, because I had this idea of like the souls from our past, like they rise up and all that, like people that you lost. So that's what I was thinking of. And he goes, well, why don't we just do like ghost faces going up like that, like they're in a smoke ember kind of thing. And I'm like, all right, cool. We'll just do that. So I went by him, and he's like, what should we not get done? And I'm like, fairies, anything gay looking, nothing. Something I just want cool. I don't want to be like, oh, look, I got, Tinkerbell, like, sitting on a rock. No. Nothing against Tinkerbell, but I'm just saying, it doesn't look good on guys.
Yeah.
I might be digging myself a hole in this one, but,
Yeah, you might be canceled.
Yeah, no, not even that. It's just like people are like, what's wrong with Tinker? I'm like, no, there's nothing wrong. I don't want it on me.
It's not the message I'm wanting to put out for myself.
yeah. I just want mine and mine alone.
Then what happens if you have that tattoo? Then that becomes your nickname, Tinkerbell.
Yeah. It's like, oh, hello. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. But I've been called worse. I've been called E.T. in the bar days. But
Oh yeah, I heard you talk about that too.
Oh yeah. It's like, hey, neck, face, E.T. I'm like, and he still fucking calls me that to this day. I'm like, dude, I got a fat neck and a fat face, and I don't think I'm E.T.
Yeah, a nickname like that, like something that happens, that like one that sticks like that, it's gonna stay stuck. It don't matter.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but I'm glad it wasn't the other one. And I don't know if I don't know if you heard it from the other one that we called. It was a Gary, the not so kind of person. I don't want to say the name, because I don't want people getting backlash and everything else. So, but it wasn't a nice name. So, mine was like the better one. Mine was a good flip of the coin. So I'm like, thank you, Mr. Bishop, Pat Bishop. So, and if you're in the Long Island area, go to the bar that he works at, which I kind of forgot because I haven't gone there in a while, and I should have betted on the Super Bowl. So, Are you guys looking at the Super Bowl? Actually, how about we go with that? You know.
Nah, my team's out of it, Green Bay. So I don't really. I'm pretty much just loyal to the Packers. So
I don't watch.
after that,
a
I mean,
lot of
I'll
sports
watch
on
it. I'll
TV.
watch it, but I don't really care who wins. I just hope for a good game now.
My
Just something that's
football
fun to watch.
consists of my son, and then once he becomes famous, then I'll start watching
Yeah.
on TV.
And then you're like, listen, I don't have to pay a damn thing. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get money coming rolling in. You know, because we're gonna get him in college. You know.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
kids came in and said, "Well, your team put up a good effort, Miss Wiley." So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'm glad Brady's retiring.
Yeah. You know, no
I know, I'm-
the ball.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they call him the GOAT, whatever. But
No, they call him the flattener. That's what they call him.
yeah,
But mine was like I said, I like dark, kind of like, abnormal kind of thing. So we call it more. I like the Raiders. Even though they haven't done shit.
they got the best looking uniforms though.
Yeah. It's like you can't beat a week of like a Raider with like all dark gray and everything else.
Yeah.
And then the Saints, not because they won, like a couple here and
Yeah.
there, but it was just like I love Louisiana. I like, I'm not from Louisiana, but I always wanted to go. But now it's underwater.
You've never been there?
No, I wanted to go, but I like the whole history of like the horror, not horror, the horror kind of thing where it's you hear some like great tales of like ghost stories and
it'd be neat to go through there and get to see some of that. Like go through a tour of all the stuff.
Yeah, the
I
culture.
got a friend that's been there a few times, and Tina's actually been there for something for like a Louisiana.
Yeah,
I was there. I took one of the little tours.
Yeah, we've wanted to go, and I think we're going to try to. I don't want to go during Mardi Gras. I'd like to just go like in an off season. The Mardi Gras thing I mean, I like to party, but those days are kind of past me. But
I think it passed them too, because from what I've seen, usually the days that they were showing that it's supposed to be busy, and it's like nobody on the street, like maybe.
Oh, really?
I don't know, like a good 15, 20 people, like a tourist kind of thing now.
Yeah. Now I'd like to go there and go to some bars and stuff, and like I like to find like a not like a trendy bar, like a real bar. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's
down,
the kind of place I like.
Dirty kind of,
Yeah.
Give me a dirty glass, okay.
Yeah.
If
they turn the lights on too bright, you'll see that all the glasses are dirty.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I love. I mean, I love the whole dingy thing. It was like when I used to go to bars and everything else, I go in there, it's like dark and fucking dingy, and just sit there and you like just wallow in your self pity or whatever, and that's about it. And then but then you go to that same bar, like your favorite bar, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then afterwards, like, oh, it's been bought by another person. I'm like, oh, it should be the same bar. And then you come back and there's like big, huge fucking screen TVs and everything.
Yeah, I don't like
that
at all. No.
Salad wraps.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like see, I'm originally from Wisconsin, but now we're in Alabama now, where the show's out of Alabama. But so I've lived in Alabama way longer than I lived in Wisconsin. But Wisconsin's got good bars, like great bars.
Yeah.
Like you get, you'll go in like every town. Usually there's one block that's just lined with bars, but they're all like, small town,
Which you would
individually
expect a bar to be.
owned by individuals, just a classic bar. You walk in, there's just the big bar with all the stools, might be a few tables. It's not all fancy. It's like wood floors, big ass mirror behind the, it's just like a classic bar.
When we got married, remember you
and they
said,
got great names like Packies and the Long Branch and, Rubies and stuff like that. They're not like
Ruby.
Well, when we got married, remember you were like, now, if we were in Wisconsin, we go bar hopping before we went to the reception.
Yeah, that's like the tradition after a wedding. The bride and groom hit every bar on the way to the reception. But,
but we weren't there.
Around here, there's just not a lot of bar. I mean, there's some, but they're just.
Well,
it's
when
not
we
like it
moved,
is up
when
there.
you guys got married, we weren't even a wet county, were we?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think we were. Like,
yeah,
you
it
had
just
to go
shows you
out-
how the
you had to
South
go-
is. There's still dry counties.
You had to go.
South.
We had to go to Huntsville. You remember the bar that's on the way to Huntsville? That's the first and last bar.
That was a different
liquor
time.
Store?
That was a different time.
First and
but-
last.
It's called the first and last. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's the first one.
Yeah,
and
we
the
lived.
last
Well, yeah, but Gunnersville was wet, but the county was dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah, because we had liquor. We had horrible
Yeah, we had
champagne.
we had it in the town
Oh yeah,
hall.
we
and had
did have
liquor and
that. That
everything,
was
but-
terrible.
My
I don't
dad
know if I
bought
could
white
be able to-
champagne and pink champagne, and I don't know where he got it, but we had a champagne fountain. And I look over, and every one of my cousins has got like a bottle open, and they're just pouring it in and
They
mixing
mixed
it.
the two different
It was
champagnes.
hor- it was
the
the
worst
worst.
champagne.
I'm like, what are my cousins doing? Oh, right, yeah.
We're rambling now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I could never try to go to like a dry county. Yeah, it's like I lived in Pennsylvania for like 10 years, and they're like, oh, just like certain places you can't get, and it wasn't like anywhere where the,
Amish.
yeah, it wasn't anywhere nearby the Amish or anything. It
Yeah.
was like right before, like once you get past Jersey, you're in Pennsylvania. It's like right in that section area.
Yeah.
So and I was like, all right, cool. And I was joking around with my in-laws at the time because they got a place there's a town called Luzerne, Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
And it's a small town. It's like an 80s town, which was cool. But I started making fun of it. I'm like, oh, so you're going to be living in Loser Town. I'm like, oh. And then all of a sudden, not to think that I'm actually going to get a house in the same fucking town. And I'm like, oh. And then they turn around like, well, I guess you're living in Loser Town. And I'm like, all right, we're a bunch of fucking losers. Okay, let's go. Just help me move my shit. Let's go.
Yeah.
But from what I found out is because a friend of mine, he lived in, well, he still does. He lives in Scranton. So I went to go visit, and that's where I got my tattoos done, was like right down the street from his house. And I had my tire was like flat. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, shit. And then the area that we're in looked like a drug infested town. So it was like, you can't be out there. It's like zombies. You can't be out there after a certain time in the fucking night.
Yeah.
So we flagged down a cop that was there, and I'm like, listen, can you just like sit right here until I get this fucking thing fixed, and then I can get going. And then my friend turned around and he was like, hey, I know that Scranton's not the most safest place in Pennsylvania. And he goes, well, wait a minute, where you live? And he points to me, and I'm like, oh, Luzerne. And he goes, and you think Scranton is not the safest place? He goes, your friend here lives in the murder capital of Pennsylvania.
Really? Oh my
Nice.
God.
And I'm like, listen, they didn't show me that in the fucking brochure.
Yeah, they don't put that in the.
By the way, your neighbor just down the street just killed 5 people the other day, but this is a great house.
I was
Give me
wondering why
shudders.
there's so many fucking fires. I'm like, what the hell is this shit? I was like, good God, it's like the Night of the Living Dead. I'm like, But overall, and it was great because like any kind of day would be a nice fucking day. I just go out to my car, you get your 24 pack of beer, which is like $15, and then when you come from New York, $15, that's fucking cheap for 24, like a 24 case of beer.
Yeah.
And then so I go out of my car and I'm ready to go somewhere, and I see that we had train tracks right next to the house, but there was no train that was going to go by. They assured us there was no train. I'm like, okay.
Abandoned.
Which there was never a train, actually. For like 10 years, there was none that went by. And some jackass figured they watched too many Dukes of Hazzard fucking episodes. And they were like, they jumped this curb to go over the train tracks and goes onto the other street across the way.
Yeah.
So apparently he didn't get enough lift. And his whole chassis like rested like right on top of the train tracks.
Oh, geez.
With all 4 wheels like just spinning.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious until the tow truck guy comes around, and I see this and I'm like, fuck this. I'm like, I'm gonna go get my 24 pack. I put it on top of the car. I sat there, start drinking, start laughing.
Yeah.
And then everything was fine. Then 4 days later, my car couldn't get started. The same tow truck guy that was there came by.
It's like, who's
and
laughing now,
jumping.
asshole? No, I was kidding.
Yeah,
No, I was kidding.
but then all of a sudden after he looked at the train tracks and he goes, wait, you're the guy that was laughing at us trying to get that thing? And he goes, oh yeah, it was a fucking funny shit. And he goes, oh man, that was like a bad part of the thing we had to do. That lasted me a couple hours. He goes, by the way, do you have a bathroom? He goes, you know what? I'll just piss in your bush. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
okay, go right ahead. I don't give a shit. I do that all the time,
Yeah.
That's how I got the groundhogs that not come around, so.
Yeah.
Apparently that's what happens. You go and pee in your yard and, to show your territory, they won't come around. And they never did. So,
Oh.
that's what happens when you
Poor
drink.
Punxsutawney Phil.
That's hilarious.
Especially we call that guy that tells you, like, the groundhog tells you when it's going to be 6 weeks of winter or 6 weeks of spring, which I don't even know what happened now. So does 6 weeks already of spring or winter? I'm not sure.
I don't know. It don't matter in Alabama. The weather's weird anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a difference.
I went to Georgia actually for like a vacation. Yes, people, I went to Georgia for vacation, and because I wanted to go to the swamp.
I'm trying to think what was in Georgia.
The Okefenokee Swamp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which was cool. I'm like, listen, anything at Long Island, I'll go on a vacation. That's no problem.
Yeah.
So we get down there and everything else. We see every like 18-foot fucking alligator, and you find out alligators can run 30 miles an hour, and
Oh my gosh.
you're like, shit, I'm going 60.
Yeah, they're fast.
Yeah,
They climb fences too.
I'm like, fuck that shit. Climb fences. I didn't even know that. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
they
I'm
can
not going
climb
back.
fences. Yeah,
Like a chain link fence.
like chain link fences.
Yeah.
They can climb. Yeah.
I'm getting a wood fence, and, and I'm gonna get we call a seesaw, so I could jump and toss that motherfucker out that way. And then yeah, what the hell was that? That was an alligator. It's flying right over. Look out. And then but no, it was fun actually. Just going down there and driving around, and
Yeah, well, there's Savannah, Georgia's got some real pretty stuff to go see.
yeah.
Antebellum type buildings, and the old,
And then we saw that the island of horses, they called it. You go, take a boat. You go out to this island, and the whole island, there's like this huge, like castle like scenery, and everywhere you see is wild fucking horses running around.
Yeah, it's amazing. I haven't been there, but I've actually seen. Yeah. A buddy of mine saw that, and he said it was crazy just to see that.
Yeah, it's just horses and everything else. And the one thing my wife said to me on there, and it was just like fascinating how she said it. She goes, "Trey, look over there. That horse has a big dick." And I'm like, "Okay, you want me to take a picture of it or something? What the fuck?" I got a zoom lens. Okay,
So what did you what did you think of the South when you were here? Like the
I love the South. I love the fact that it was so fucking hot that it rains every time, and I'm like, all right, cool. I liked it. It's no problem. But I love the fact that there's a chain gang, and nobody didn't know that. And I saw this, and I felt like a Fuji cameraman. I'm like, listen, they're not gonna leave us at home.
Yeah, we got chain gangs here too. But one thing I want to say, since being that I lived in the North and I've lived in the South, that on TV and on news, and the South gets a bad rap as being like racist.
Yeah.
It just ain't that way anymore. I mean, I don't think it's any more racist than any place else in the country.
No.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm sure, older generation people that are still alive that grew up in those times, but those people are dying and they're not around anymore. And it's the newer generations aren't that way. And just a lot of people assume that it's still that way, and it's not. That's kind of my little speech I always give. It's like the South is actually pretty cool place. I like it. There's a lot of neat stuff here and a lot of good people. And I mean, there's respect. Like people are real friendly. There really is such a thing as Southern hospitality.
Oh yeah, you learn it in school. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yeah, they
yes,
still
sir,
talk
no,
that way.
sir.
Yeah, there's still that. You still have that respect, but I'm also just talking like the people are real good. Like I got nothing bad to say about the South. I like to stand up for it a little bit because it gets a bad.
No, I mean, I'm
comedians always make fun of it, and
I can't believe they took off Dukes of Hazzard because of that. I'm like, the fuck are you doing? I'm like, that's my favorite show. I grew up watching that to the point where I think I am, Southern at one point, because I mean, hell, my mom told me I look like a redneck as it is.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, no problem. I like the boots, but I don't know. It's like, I don't know why they just do this. They take down statues, and I'm like, that's just been going for years and years and years, whatever. And all of a sudden now something happens. Not to be political, because I don't do political or religious stuff.
Yeah, we don't either. But
yeah. So, but for me to like see that you're taking these stuff down, the memorabilia's, from the South and then everything else, because of somebody that did something like a killing, which is, fine. You guys just do whatever, and he got arrested and in jail time and whatever. It doesn't give the fact that you got to take down TV shows that we all grew up with, or and everything else, and then you learn this from the South. Now what? Now we got to go and do a whole new thing, and say, oh, well, the South is not really the South anymore. I'm like, it's still the fucking South.
Well, like they say, if you don't learn, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can
tell my
understand.
kids all
I
the
can
time as well,
understand.
like that's why we learn. So we
I
don't
can
repeat it.
understand
Yep.
people being upset about some of the monuments and stuff like that. But it's a weird thing because there's also, I mean, a lot of people. It's a tough thing. It's like to tread on that. It's like I understand it, but also there is a history there that everybody needs to learn. I mean,
So it doesn't happen again.
well, not just that, but I mean, and like the TV show, like Dukes of Hazzard, I don't see how that show's hurting anybody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That show, they never said anything racist on that show.
No.
They just had the flag, the
Yeah.
Confederate flag on the top of
But
the car.
and
It
the
was called the General
Confederate
Lee.
flag isn't the flag for slavery. That's why a lot of people don't like it.
Well, yeah, but
It's the Confederate flag. I mean, that's what their flag
but
was.
to a lot of people it represents that, which I get, but nobody's flying that anymore as the
No.
flag. But anyway.
Yeah, but that's it. So tell
That's
everybody
a good
about Malice After Midnight. It's some people that didn't know what it is, and just give like a backstory of how it became Malice After Midnight, and who thought of the name, and
Well, the name.
Wait, let me start by going.
I don't know.
How
Christine's raising her hand like she thinks she thought of the name.
Come
I thought
up
of
with
the
this.
name.
No, you did not.
I did.
I came up with it, and you were like, I don't know.
No, I came up with the word malice.
No,
I
you
think.
didn't. No, you didn't.
Okay, wait.
folks, we're gonna have our
Both-
first fight on Malice on After Midnight.
Both of you wait. Let's go back to Christmas. And me and Steve, I have to tell the story because it's hilarious. Me and Steve were talking about starting a podcast. Okay. And so we get boxes for Christmas.
Christine got us a bunch of stuff to
Wait,
get started.
No, you're rooting it. Listen. So we open the box and because me and Steve are going to do a podcast together, husband and wife. And then there's 3 microphones. There's 3 headsets. There's 3 whatever. And she's like, hey, Merry Christmas. We're all 3 starting a podcast. So that's how we all 3 got to be at the podcast.
In my defense,
It was so cute.
I
loved
bought
it.
that package because that's how that package came. But,
But I thought it was
because
cute.
there was 3, I mean, why not?
But as the title of Malice After Midnight, I'm not sure because I'm not taking sides on
it
that.
was me.
Okay.
But we
it
always
don't
knew
matter.
it was going to be true crime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though there's like already so many true crime shows and we're so
But
late
I
to the
think
game.
Steve
but-
kind of wanted to do, and Christine kind of
Well-
wanted to do like a malice, so it wouldn't be just strictly. We
Cr-
talk about
crime.
true
We talk-
crime.
Yeah, like
we
on the
talk about
Halloween thing,
crime,
we had ghost stories
But there's
on
a lot of
there.
malice and other.
I had an
Mhm.
episode
things.
about Joseph Mengele, which was the doctor, the Nazi doctor that was over in the Auschwitz concentration camp and all the evil experiments he did on twins and all that.
Yeah.
So it's not just crime, but Tina's been wanting to do a podcast for if we would have started the podcast when Tina wanted to start it, we'd have been like early in the true crime podcast game, but I just kept prolonging it.
I mean, there's true podcasts, like true crime podcasts, like all over the place now. And it's like, how do you know what to talk about without stepping on toes? I guess.
Well, this is the thing. I was kind of worried at first about, everybody's done, we did a Ted Bundy 4-part Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Every crime podcast has done a Ted Bundy, but so basically we just decided we're just going to do it because, I've listened to a lot of true crime podcasts. And even though a lot of them do the same stories, they're all different. They all got their spin on it.
Mhm.
Well, not so much
Different
spin, but
information.
different information, or even just their opinions are different. And like our show, we try to be kind of like this, where we're just talking about it, and we don't have a real we'll have notes and all that. But if I'm going to do a case on a certain criminal, like when I did the Green River Killer, Christina and Tina didn't do any homework, so that way anything that they've never heard of is new to them, so their reaction is new. It's to what I have to say. Like when Tina did an episode on Armin Meiwes, who was a cannibal from Germany,
We
that
did
actually got a guy to agree. He put an ad on the internet saying that he wanted to eat somebody, and somebody actually answered that ad and wanted to be eaten alive.
Yep.
So that was a shock. And then
starting with his stuff,
and
his junk.
the one fantasy of the guy that wanted to be eaten was he wanted to have somebody eat his penis.
Tear
Like
it off.
cut off and eat his penis, and he tried to eat it with him. And the guy's doing this while he's alive. Yeah, I see your reaction. So what I'm saying is Tina's saying that, and I'm just sitting here going, "Oh my god!" So the reaction So we got a lot of humor in our show. I mean, sometimes, like with the Ted Bundy one, there's really nothing
Yeah,
funny
no.
about anything he did. So there's no
Yeah,
humor.
he's just hungry. That's about it. Yeah.
Well, I call it dark humor because it's such a dark subject sometimes.
So sometimes we get funny and sometimes we joke. And so our show is different than a lot of them.
Yeah.
And we try to make it feel like if you're listening to us, like you're part of the conversation, like you're just sitting
Like
here
you're
with
in
us.
here with us. Yeah.
And we have actually had people, message us or something and tell us, something else or ask a question. And we welcome that. We want to know. We want to hear from people. So.
Yeah, it's
Go ahead.
Whew, that whole penis thing just got me thrown to a whoopty. No, but that we call it because I remember when I was younger and I was watching some movie and it was like, I don't know, friends of mine, they came by, they had this movie, hey, let's watch it. And all of a sudden there's like this person just laying in the tub. And I'm like, okay. All of a sudden a woman comes by with a knife. And I thought she was just going to stab him. And I love, like I said, I love horror movies and everything else. But I did not think of what she was going to do. Like, she had the knife in the hand and just, like, went into the water and just cut his dick off. And then he didn't know it. He just, like, it was like,
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden after, he's just laying there and there's, like, blood, like, all over in the tub. And I'm like, oh, and the whole time I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, boy. Okay. I'm holding myself. I'm like, that.
Yeah, you can't
that's
help
not
but
good.
hurt. Yeah.
No, that's not good. And they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, I felt that, and I wasn't there. I felt my winky gone.
Oh, I know, for real.
I felt my winky gone.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Like a caveman day. Winky went gone, And so I haven't watched that film, and then all of a sudden now Lorena Bobbitt comes around. I'm like, oh shit, she was in the movie. No, but
Yeah.
So okay, so and it's but how does we call it one? Now you do a lot of research on this. There's like a lot of people have to research. I'm like, I hate going to school and doing homework, let alone doing this much fucking research.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
work.
Sometimes that's
true.
why I don't
It
do
is
as many
work.
episodes as Tina does because I hate the homework.
Yeah,
For sure,
exactly.
For sure.
Yeah, but
Because even
I'm-
if like
I'm glad
even
when
if
you
you
do
get
one because I get a break.
yeah, but even if like I got a pretty good memory. I mean, so like if I learn something, if I you still got to have notes and have, I mean, like, you can't just do it off the top of your head if you're doing something like that because you want to get names right and you want to get as many facts right as you can and you want to
Everything
give
in the
respect to the
order.
like with like Ted Bundy. I named every victim that he confessed to and I described how they died. I'm trying to give respect and all that because it's a fine line. You don't want to offend anybody, and plus, you just want to give respect to the families and all that, and you want to get it right. So you got to do your homework, and that is the toughest part. Like I forgot how. I mean, it's been what way over 20 years since I've been in school. So
yeah,
I don't write anything except to sign my name on stuff and actually starting to write paper, and it's like, oh my God, my hand's cramping up. And I was like, oh my God, I hate it. But the homework part of it sucks, but it's worth it for the show. It's fun.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun doing the show.
No, I mean it sounds great. I love the whole aspect of the whole thing. I love that you have your mom in there too, and I'm like,
She's been on a couple, yeah.
She
yeah,
has.
it's just like
Loves
it's
it.
awesome. It's like, well, was it about your grandfather? I think there was an episode about, or
we had on the Halloween one, she actually told the story about how she saw her brother's ghost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was on our Ed Gein episode because that's a Wisconsin story, and we're from we're from Wisconsin. And
she's always down to be on an episode. Like the Halloween one, we just last minute called and said, "Hey, you want to be on the show?" And she's like, "Yeah!" Boom, she was here in 5 minutes. She was like,
she's supportive.
So
she's
funny.
good.
You're calling her up, and then while you're calling her up, she's like,
"He's already walking in the door."
Hello?
Well, yeah. So
Pretty
like
much, yeah.
on the were you here for the Ed Gein one, Christine?
Yeah.
Which one?
She guessed it.
She
Oh, Ed
sat
Gein was on her birthday.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So it was on her birthday, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, you want to come here and do the Ed Gein episode?" And all of a sudden, she's like, "I'm a junior, so my dad's name is Steve."
oh,
And
okay.
also, and she goes, "Steve, I'm going to the kids. I'm doing the show. See ya!" Like I hear her yelling at it in the background. And then they just live like I don't know 4 miles down the road from where we live, and she was here like in no time.
Yeah.
Sat down, she was ready to go.
Yeah, but there's a problem with that. My sister now goes, "When are you gonna have me on the show?" She
Yeah.
does me that.
Yeah,
We do got to figure out a way, but it's funny.
That's always good, to get like family.
yeah, it's
on
kind of
there.
fun to shake it up a little bit.
You know, it's like I had oh, what's it up? What's it called? My mom is like my mom and dad. They work for like Pilgrim State, like they used to work for a mental hospital institution, and I said this on a podcast like maybe episodes like way before by myself. It was like my wife. She always worked at like an animal hospital. She loved animals, everything else. So she would tell me, stories like, "Oh, I did surgery on this one dog, but I was eating a cheeseburger and everything else." And we do. I'm like, "What? What? You tell me it's why I'm eating eggs? Why? Why? I just want to see your reaction." Well, it's disgusting. Yeah. So now my mom told me stories about when she was working in the mental institution where they were all like crazy looking. They did everything you could think of. There was two guys that were twins. One would go in one corner of the room. The other one would go in the other corner of the room and run and butt heads like balls. And then get back up and then do the same shit like 10 times.
Twins, and they both were in the mental hospital.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And then there was a woman that wanted cigarettes and all that, and she would like go and stand there, squat down, piss on the floor until she got her cigarette.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was just monotonous. So what my family pretty much worked at, my whole family was pretty much in there. So I had my grandma, my mom, and my dad came in. He came from Hungary. So he came in on a work release, I think, and work visa. And he worked at Pilgrim State and met my mom through my grandmother. So now then you had my aunt, my uncle, a couple of cousins. They worked there. I was going to work there myself, but, they closed the shit down. But the funny story about this, I had a great uncle. I forgot what his name is, but he would go and do practical jokes with the dead people.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but no, he would not have, sex with people. But he would go and literally dress them up, put them in the seat,
put a cigarette in their mouth or something.
Yeah, and then he would cruise around looking for chicks, with this guy, and then the eyes were shut, but he had an invisible fishing line, like attached to the eyelids.
Oh my God!
And then it looked like he's sleeping like this, and all of a sudden he pulls up, and he goes, "Hey girls, how you doing?" He's like, "Hey, Bob, wake up!" And he'll have it attached to his fingers like this. So, and then he'll go, and then the eyelids will come up, and then, so they're like, "Oh, this is Bob. Say hi, Bob." And it's like, "Oh, he's dead tired, boom, and then I'm like, my mom told my wife that story, and then I came back. I left for like a half hour. I came back, and my wife's like, "Okay, your mom, won the whole thing. There's more disgusting work than mine." And then we went to the diner. So
well, we got we got an axe murderer in our family. And I've said it on one of our episodes. Yeah. So that was actually way back though, like in the 1950s, and it's not like real immediate. It's like a distant cousin, but we found that out, and that was interesting.
No, but he's not like mentally like to the point where he kills or anything. He worked there.
I was just saying we got
Yeah. So I mean that's how I get my humor now, and that's how I'm like, oh, that's how I am. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. I thought it was just like my own personal, whatever, But then, and the fact that I like horror movies, like I'll watch it like all the time, and I would not have any like bad nightmares. I mean, I would have nightmares here and there, but it's just like some stupid shit, But watching a horror movie would not faze me at all.
The only horror movie that's ever really creeped me out is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. No. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because it looks like it's a damn documentary. The way it's shot,
Yeah.
It's such bad quality that it almost looks like home video. You know what I mean?
And who said about House? Are you talking about the movie House, or are you talking about the house?
She's joking. She's talking about the movie House. That's not a scary movie. I mean,
it's like a comedy. I don't know.
When we were kids, it was creepy. And
you got Richard Mall from Night Court in it. Oh
yeah, that was one of our favorites as when we were little kids.
Yeah. House 2.
House 2 was cool.
I love House 2.
How was it? House 2. Then you had Hellraiser,
Oh,
and
yeah, well, that's not a kid's
You were
movie.
Hellraiser for Halloween, weren't you?
Yeah, I was Hellraiser for Halloween.
oh man, the pins in the head,
Yeah.
or you could be like the guy with the compact disc like in the head and all that.
Yeah.
What is that, Hellraiser 3 or 4? I don't know, something like that. But my worst one, and I hate watching because I'm an animal. I love dogs and everything else.
Yeah.
I can't sit and watch Cujo.
Oh yeah.
I could not sit because I don't like the fact that we call it that I'm gonna go and watch this to the point where I have my own dog and have my own dog attack me because of some kind of disease, and I gotta try to put him down or her down. I'm like, nah, I just can't watch the whole fucking thing. That's the only movie I can't watch through. Anything else, no problem.
Yeah, and there's that. What was it? I hated that. I know your dad hated the part. What is that movie? The zombie movie with Will Smith, where the dog got infected. That was
yeah.
sad.
I Am Legend.
Yeah,
I Am Legend, yeah.
I hated
It's
that.
funny how when a dog dies, it's like, oh no, you can't take it. But like thousands of people can die and you don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm the same way.
I was like, oh my god, and I like the fact that they have like dogs in movies now where it's all like even in horror movies you're like, holy shit, or even Pirates of the Caribbean when the dog is on the island of the cannibals,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Ruh, ruh, ruh."
And he becomes the king, like their sacred god at the end.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden he's like, "Ruh, ruh, ruh," and all of a sudden they just stop and they look at him and go, and then run like, oh shit, you motherfucker, he's thinking that, you sons of a bitch, leave me on the island.
That really is so funny.
Now what kind of pirate? Here's the thing, because I love pirates and all that.
Uh-oh.
What kind of pirate would you
Yeah.
think you would be?
Uh,
A
Johnny
sleepy
Depp.
pirate? Okay. Yeah.
well, I
I'd
mean,
definitely be Jack
I think I'm too
Sparrow.
lazy to be a pirate, but
Well, so all pirates are lazy at some point.
well,
Yeah.
I would definitely be Jack Sparrow.
I'll tell you my favorite pirate in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies is Barbossa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
yeah.
like him, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's actually a tough question.
I come up with the hard fucking questions. Yeah. It's like,
If
hey,
somebody
Real
chase-
hard hitting questions.
yeah, like,
Somebody chases
what's
me
going on
out.
with the presidency? No, how about Pirates of the Caribbean? Who are you gonna be?
Yeah.
I think me, I'll be like, I hate to say it, but I think I'll be like that skinny guy with the glass eyeball. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, that's what I figured. Because I can't really have like a full. I mean, I got a beard now, but it's like back then it's like all patches.
Yeah.
So that's
Patchy
why I
pirate.
feel myself being like that guy. Yeah.
Hmm.
But then, so somebody else said what we call they're gonna be like Jack Sparrow.
That'd be me.
Yeah.
Well, that's just because she likes Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
I do.
Now you think Johnny Depp
mean,
is
you
gonna
would
be
be
doing movies
with-
again, or what?
I hope so.
I hope so. I don't know. That seems.
I think he
the
got
whole
the
thing,
shaft.
Well,
the whole
we
thing
just
seems
recently
different.
went to Disney.
Yeah, we're big
And
into
he's
Disney.
he's gone. Like they've
He's
replaced.
not on the ride anymore.
It
Pirates of the
looks like
Caribbean.
him, but it's clearly not like it was because used to you could go through.
I think it was still his voice, but I'm not
No.
100%
No.
sure. It
Used to
wasn't.
be.
and
all
you
right,
would look just like it was amazing. Like how
well
much
before
it
the
looked just like
movie.
him.
Before the
But now,
movie,
no.
the ride was. The ride. It was a different. It was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was Jack Sparrow, but it wasn't Johnny Depp's character. After the Johnny Depp movies came out, they based the ride on him. Like, so the face of the animatronic Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride was Johnny Depp.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we rode through it just here recently, and there was one pirate that was still the Johnny Depp pirate,
Mm-hmm.
but at the very end, the Jack Sparrow was like the old original one from when
Yeah,
the
it
ride
wasn't
first
him
started.
anymore.
It wasn't Johnny Depp anymore. The voice was different too, so they took him out of the ride. So I don't know. I think he might be canceled.
He is as far as the Pirates of the Caribbean go.
Yeah.
I heard
and
that.
Fantastic Beasts, I think, as well. But
Yeah.
I think he might be doing. I think I found out that he won the case somewhere, but I'm not sure, to be honest. But he is doing like some kind of movie. I don't know what kind of movie it is, but it'd be nice.
I think he'll eventually get back. Mel Gibson was able to get back into doing stuff, and what he did was way worse because Johnny Depp. It seems like Johnny Depp was innocent. That's why I say way worse.
Yeah.
I don't think I think it was proved he didn't do it,
He
right?
was
Or
in it.
he was found innocent,
He was
right?
found guilty at first.
Johnny Depp, didn't he win his case though? Johnny Depp?
Yeah, lately he won this case. I think the other time when he was trying to win the case before, they turned it down.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
think so
You know,
too.
and then he
That's
went
when
and
they
did
took
it again,
everything
and then
out.
he
Okay.
won it. You know, because
Yeah, so I don't know for sure. I guess. I mean, if he did it, that's pretty bad.
there
But
was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there was like stuff with Amber Heard or something, and she said something, and then somebody else came out and said something against her, like, well, what are you saying? You did this and this and this.
yeah, I don't think it's
And
real cut and dry.
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know if it's true or not, but I had heard like her mom was actually saying that he didn't do it. So I don't know if that's true. So don't let me.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
So I don't
know.
know.
It's like celebrity, and I say this for like the last couple of times, and even on an episode or two, that Hollywood, you know, when they make movies, they gotta do remakes,
Yeah,
and it's like so stupid. I'm like, why make a remake? Why not just make an original kind of thing?
they don't do it anymore. Almost every movie is a remake. I mean, there's so
Yeah.
many movies that people didn't even know were remakes. Like Adam Sandler did Mr. Deeds, and that's like a remake of an old Mr. Deeds Goes to Washington with is it Carrie? No, it's the guy that played Sergeant York,
I know.
Gary Cooper. You know, and
Yeah.
like there's just so many. Almost everything now is a remake. There's very few original
The
movies.
only original ones that I've seen basically is like Friday the 13th horror movies. You know, pretty much
Yeah.
all the horror movies. I mean, the horror movies, like the ones in the 80s, like not early 80s, but, well, yeah, early 80s into like 90s and, you know, and all that. So you got Friday the 13th, Halloween, Hellraiser, and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
And then like a couple other ones like Child's Play and all that. And yet they all have like original stuff, and it goes on and on. They go
Yeah.
to like 10 or whatever. And all of a sudden now they want to do remakes of that. I'm like,
well, they redid Child's Play, didn't they? They just redid. They made a new Child's Play.
yeah, they did a Child's
did.
Play.
Mark
which
Hamill was
a
the
little bit
voice of
bigger.
Chucky, wasn't he?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but that wasn't original in the 80s. It was an original.
Yeah, but now that's a
Yeah.
remake. Is what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying.
They
now-
made
They-
one
you-
as a remake. Then they did a series.
They redid
think
Pet
it's-
Cemetery too.
yeah.
Yeah, they redid Pet Cemetery. And
And
then
I didn't. What did you think of the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street when they redid it? I didn't like it.
yeah, I honestly, we could, you know, they grab a guy that's like 5 foot,
Yeah,
you know, apparent, and you know that we call Freddy Krueger is like 6 something, 6'2",
Yeah.
6'3", whatever.
tall and lanky.
Yeah, long and lanky and all that. And then you see the guy because the guy that played Horshack in
Yeah, Watchmen.
The Watchmen and all that, he's like the shortest fucking guy ever. But hey, let's make him, you know, be Freddy Krueger. I'm like, what, his younger brother or something? I'm like,
Yeah.
the fuck is this shit?
I
Yeah.
didn't like it. I didn't like the back. They changed the backstory a little bit,
Yeah.
or they made. I don't know. I just didn't. I didn't like it.
I think
Yeah.
I
The
don't
original
like
was
it
so
'cause
good.
they
You know, I
focus so
honestly,
much on the
I liked the first Nightmare on Elm Street a lot, but it was actually scary.
Yeah.
And then when Freddy started to be so comical in the later movies, I didn't like that as much. Like they got away from the horror. I mean, I like the third one, the Dream Warriors.
Yeah,
That's a really good one, but after that, you know, he just got it was too punchliney. Like he just had too much. Like
I
every
think
other.
it's like up to 4 was good, and then when it went
Yeah.
after 4 to like 7 or something, yeah, like you said,
Yeah.
it's punchliney kind
And the
of.
Wes Craven's New Nightmare was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good
that
like
was funny.
ode to like 1 and 2
Because
kind
they
of
made
like,
Freddy real in that one.
yeah.
It was actually he had to make the movies to keep Freddy from actually hurting
yeah.
people.
And
in real
on
life.
that, I liked Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, that was a gimmick type movie, but I enjoyed it. Freddy versus Jason.
I
didn't think I'd
had-
like it, but I did.
actually had a not an epiphany, but I had a thought about like they should do like a multi iconic you know, horror, you know, people join into that one movie.
Oh
But
yeah,
then other people were saying, well, it's gonna be kind of like monotonous, you know, you're gonna have this and this because
yeah,
in my mind I'm like, oh, you got like say part 2, you got Jason versus Freddy, and you know they fight. Somehow they got into Haddonfield or Haddonfield, you know,
yeah.
and then there's Michael Myers, you know, he's killing kids, and next thing you know, like, oh, what the fuck is this? And he starts getting into the fight, you know,
Yeah.
and then, you know, next thing you know, a rift opens up, and then the Hellraiser and the Cenobites fucking come out, and you
Yeah.
know, it was like a melee because honestly, you have
Honestly, I'm surprised that hasn't been made yet.
yeah. You know,
Yeah.
because they did Predator versus you know, Aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
But
like,
like, you know, you remember in Predator 2,
Yeah.
when Danny Glover's on the ship, there actually is a skull from Alien on the ship. They got all so they kind of. I remember when I was younger seeing that, I was like, "Oh crap!" You know, he's hunted aliens. So I always thought Predator versus Alien would be a cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they went too far with that too. They overdo it too much.
Yeah, they always do. Because
With
especially when the alien's like inside the Predator and he looks like it, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
But then they made Spaceballs, you know, and they made.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I love space. I can do like the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Who?
comb the desert. It's like, we ain't found.
I have
Man,
never.
we ain't found shit.
I have never seen Spaceballs.
What?
Get out.
Oh my god!
Get up and walk out of this room right now.
I think I've seen bits and pieces of it when it was on TV one time, but I've never really sat down and actually just watched it.
Okay, you gotta watch it. It's,
You gotta
it's
watch
so
it.
good.
It's not
She's
like
5 years younger than me.
it's not like
so.
The Quiet Man. Is it?
Barf.
See if you
Remember
guys
Barf?
sit her down
Barf?
and watch the movie tonight.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we'll get it. We'll watch
Hey,
it.
let
tonight.
me. Hey, you gotta tell me who Barf is.
Even Jennifer's watched it.
Yeah,
Our daughter.
he's a half. He's
I'm
a
not
half
surprised
man,
about
half
that.
dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a half
Yeah.
man, half dog. He's his own best friend.
Pizza the Hut.
Yeah, Pete.
Yeah.
my
Speaking of
God.
Alien with the scene at the end.
Yeah, it's like,
hello, my
he
baby.
goes, hello, my baby, hello, my darling, hello, da, da, da. Yeah. You know,
There is.
Okay, so I have to bring up something with you.
who, me?
Yes.
Okay,
I
what did I do
listened to
wrong?
your. I listen. No, it's good. I listened to your Betty White tribute. That was
Okay.
good. And you know, well, I don't know if you've listened to. We're Golden Girls fans
Yep.
here, and
Okay.
so I thought that was good. I liked the tribute. That was good. And
And I felt bad, actually, from the
I know,
Well, you can't
I
feel
know,
bad for
you
that.
can't feel bad. I heard it. I thought, oh, I would call Steve. Was like, listen. So yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about it. But yeah, Steve didn't. I mean, he knew Golden Girls before he met me because you know I think
When
every
it first
grandma.
came out, no, when it first came out, I remember my mom even watching it. Like it was kind of a big deal when it
Yeah.
was. It was a pretty popular show when it
Well, I
first
remember when
came
my
out.
grandmother coming over one time, and I feel bad now because you know I'm older and she's gone. But I was a kid, and Wizard of Oz was on, and it came up. Remember when Wizard of Oz used to come on TV like once a year?
Yeah, before. Yeah.
And she came over and she was like, "Can you turn the channel for Golden Girls?" And I didn't want to because I was like, "It's Wizard of Oz." And then so my dad ended up taking her home, and I was like, "Now I feel bad," but I mean, I was a kid then, so
That's all right.
because she didn't want to miss the next episode. I understand now. Back when you couldn't record the episode, you know, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It was like, because it was a joke from a friend. And
Well,
he-
everybody's been saying jokes about Betty White for the last 3 years. They're like, you know, whenever a celebrity dies, you always hear everybody say, "Is anybody watching Betty White? Make sure she's okay."
Exactly.
So it's not like, you know, everybody was saying that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
But yeah,
No, but it was like to the fact that we called, she's like 90, she's going to be 100. It's like, oh, you know, who do you think was going to, you know, die first? You know, Betty White or Keith Richards and all that. And I'm like, and I made a joke. I'm like, oh, Keith Richards died like 3 times already. You know, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but
He's
he
never
looks
gonna
like he
die.
died like 3 times. You know, he has
Never
a
gonna
great
die.
plastic surgeon, I tell you. Yeah. But, but then all of a sudden after I'm going this whole thing, and the story was that when me and my girlfriend were looking at houses recently, a couple of weeks before, well, not before, but I mean the day of, I think it was New Year's Eve, I think they broke the story. And we're coming back from looking at houses, and then my girlfriend went, you know, like she just saw like something like from a thriller movie. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm driving. You scared the fuck out of me. And then she's like, I'll tell you after you merge into traffic, and then when you're straight, and then I'll tell you. And I'm like, okay. And then I was like, okay, I'm straight. What? You know, and then she's like, well, as of today, Betty White died. And I'm like, fucking shit. Really? I'm like,
Yeah,
man,
we
if
were
I
at
put
Disney.
bets on it, I'd lost. I'm like, shit. You know, I
Yeah,
thought
and
you-
on New Year's Eve, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, but then she had a stroke, actually, I think 6 days before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
but
like
they
6
never said nothing about
6
it
days
or
to a
anything.
week or something like
I
that.
didn't know
Yeah.
that. I didn't know
Yeah, she had a
that.
stroke, but they never,
Yeah, she had
her
a
stroke
stroke.
wasn't in the press.
Mm-mm.
No, it wasn't it,
Glad
but
when
then
she
they
died.
said something afterwards, like a
Oh,
couple
okay.
of weeks or something.
Yeah, if they would have said something, then you wouldn't even have said that because you didn't know she just had a stroke.
Yeah, you know, it's like, and then was when they said 6 days, and the only thing that came to mind was like the ring, you know. It's like she had 7 days. She died on the 7th day. You know, son of a.
Those are good movies. I liked those.
I've never seen them
Oh
because
my
remember
God, they
y'all
were
were like,
so
I cannot take that
Tina
kind of.
can't take the fast movement.
fast-
I don't
Ugh.
like it either, but they're good. You gotta watch them, Tina.
I saw
Those
All
are
right,
what's
you
next.
gotta watch
Do I?
Spaceballs and then the Ring movies. You know, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
your
Our
your
weekend's
homework.
booked now.
That's your
Our
homework.
weekend's booked.
So, but it was like, and then she told me the story, and I'm like, oh fucking shit. Now I'm gonna have to hear from everybody else, like that. Because I had a ranking of like, I was taking a tally, so everybody was like, oh, I got Betty White's gonna be, she's a gem and all that. She's gonna be alive, blah blah blah. And okay, she got 8. Keith Richards got 17 people saying he's gonna kick the bucket. And then I was going to tally off and see what happens, like, at the end of the season. But I kind of figured she was going to make it until, like, the 100th of her birthday.
Yeah, I did too. I had no inklings of,
I was like,
I thought, yeah, she'll be fine.
I thought she'd make it.
Yeah. And my friend that loves Betty White to the point where he wants to, like, have relations, he has a shirt and everything, and he's like,
So Golden Girl or GILF stands for Golden Girl. I'd like to F. No, I was kidding.
yeah, I was gonna get that, and my girlfriend's like, "You do that, and you're out of this apartment." And I'm like, "Okay, I won't do it." I'm like, "I'm not gonna get the shirt." Like, I'll just get a shirt that says "Golden Girls Forever."
Yeah.
So, but I watched the show and I love it. It's like it went actually. The oldest, the one that looks oldest, is the youngest that passed away first.
Yeah.
Which is Estelle Getty, and then
Yep.
B. Arthur, and then Rue McClanahan. Yeah, and then like the sex-starved actress died third, and then Betty White, which was like 25, 30 years later.
Yeah. And Betty White actually was supposed to. She actually went there to try out for. They wanted her to play Blanche, and then when she got there, she was like, I think
I
Rose.
can't see her.
No, I know.
But
She's like,
anybody
Rose
is
would be better for me.
Well, it's because I think too she just came off Mama's Family and she was real opinionated,
Mama's
strong
Family,
character.
Yeah, she was.
So she wanted to play the, and I think the same for Rue. She didn't want to play the. She just come off of Mama's Family with the.
And Rue did a what the hell? She was doing like some kind of a biography thing or something, and they were talking like, "Oh, how'd you become like doing the character?" And then she's like, "Oh, I had an aunt that had the low drawl of Southern,
Yeah, Southern draw.
Yeah, and she just got it down, and she goes,
I
"I'm
love
gonna
it.
do that," and then that's what she did. But they want her to do it somewhere, somebody else, like a different kind of character. Like, no, don't do it that way. And it was like some director that first time directing goes, I don't like that. Let's do this one. And then, so she was doing it. And then after the director just like fucking left for some reason. So now when they kept on doing it with a new director, she was still doing the Southern draw,
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, the fuck you doing? And it's like, I'm doing like this. And it's like, no, I like it the other way, Well, the other guy, he's like, fuck him. He's gone,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, shit. I'm like, that's why Hollywood doesn't have an original thought in their head now. It's just,
Yeah.
Just do this and that. And, I'm like, I'll be happy if I see an original fucking whatever, I mean, porn has more original shit than, than Hollywood has. But I could see like Hollywood going, what the fuck? No wonder why they didn't call me back for like if I want to be on a movie.
Well, in Hollywood, you got to have an IP, like intellectual property, to even have whether it's a video game or a comic book, which I like all the comic book movies. I'm a comic book nerd, but
yeah,
you got to have it's got to have an established fan base before they even make a movie. A lot of times, that's why they do like Pokemon movies and crazy stuff like that.
What's your favorite comic book movie? Here we go.
I'm gonna go take a quick 20.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Let's see. I'd have to say I really like the original Batman with Michael Keaton, and I think that Jack Nicholson is the best Joker. I'll just say that right out.
Okay.
His Joker's the best. So, but on the modern movies right now, as far as comic book, the Spider-Mans are real good. I think I really like, and I didn't think Tobey Maguire was my Spider-Man always. I thought he was the best, but Tom Holland is doing a really good job
Tom
Yeah.
Holland's my favorite.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to the Morbius movie that's coming out.
Yeah, Jared Leto. And,
That looks like it'll be good.
yeah. He plays a very good fucking villain. You know, and even not, you know, Morbius is not really a villain per
He's
se.
an anti-hero, kind of.
Yeah, anti-hero. It's like a Deadpool kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, but without all the sidekick humor kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jared Leto, man, he can really play the part out. You know, he did Joker, like the future, you know, graphic.
Yeah,
you know,
I didn't mind. I didn't mind. A lot of people didn't like his Joker, but I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I did too. I think he's
It was just a different play on it. You know, I mean, the comic books have a lot of different Jokers.
Yeah, that, you know, they got your graphic, and then you got
Yeah.
your Michael Keaton, you know, more
Yeah.
you know, Hollywoodish kind of feel to
Yeah.
it.
But you know, Michael Keaton's going to be in the new Flash movie as Batman.
Yeah,
That's going to be cool. They're doing like a what's that?
But then he also played Vulture in Spider-Man.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
crossed over
Yeah.
to Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah, so he did that.
He's a good actor. Michael Keaton's in my opinion an underrated actor.
Yes.
I mean, he's getting some acclaim now, but I've always thought he was a really good actor.
Oh yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Well, Beetlejuice is yeah.
That one I love. I could watch that like not so, and that's another one that I know by heart pretty much.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
the episode, and they made a cartoon out of it.
I loved the cartoon when I was a
Cartoon
kid.
was
And the
my
cartoon was not anything
favorite.
like the movie, but I loved the cartoon.
I
Yeah.
love
Oh,
it. Cartoon.
Here's a funny story for you. Now, and it's about Beetlejuice. Now you probably heard this, but me and my girlfriend we saw it on TV, and I seen this whole thing. And I'm not one for musicals, but they had a Beetlejuice
Yes.
musical.
Yes.
And I saw this on
Broadway.
TV in a commercial, and I'm like, holy shit, I want to see this.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend's like, are you sure it's a fucking musical? And I'm like, you know what? It
was good.
has to be good. I'm like, you know, but it's going to be like $300 or something, because I think
Yeah.
musicals are like, for a ticket, it's probably
It's
monotonous.
crazy. Yeah.
And so my birthday's in August, and so she comes up to me and she hands me like an envelope, and I'm like, oh, you give me money? And all of a sudden she's like, no, I'm not rich. Here, take it. It's a card. And then all of a sudden they had the 2 tickets to go to see Beetlejuice.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, do we have money for rent? And then she, yeah, we got money for rent. Don't worry about it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So we went there. The funniest story that I'm saying about it, because we get there and it's the theater is an old style theater with the old style seats. You know, it's not like the reclining seats. You know, it's the hard fucking, you know, like, oh, I'm Abraham Lincoln. I'm going to get killed in the fucking theater. But, you know, with John Wilkes Booth in the back. Anyway, so I was sitting there
Too
and
soon,
I'm
man.
like,
Too soon. Too soon.
yeah, I know. So but I tried to make it in there. But anyway, so but so I'm sitting there, and my girlfriend's sitting next to me, and then there's like a mom and a dad and their 2 kids, like sitting in front of us. Now the play, the musical is starting. Now you figure it's a fun, you know, kind of thing. It starts off, and I think this is like pre when Trump became president, I think it was.
Yeah.
And and Beetlejuice comes out, and they're singing and all that. And he goes, "Hey, we're gonna have a great fucking time, and we're not gonna build no fucking walls," you know. And I was like, "Oh shit!" And then you see the mom and dad. The mom and dad. Here's the head. Here's the mom. Here's the dad. You know, and here's the kids in the middle right here. All of a sudden, after they're doing it. Like, what the fuck did we do? You know, and I'm like, I'm laughing hysterical because I'm watching these people in front of me. I'm like,
Yeah.
they didn't look at the brochure, you know.
Yeah.
And then, but you go into the city and everything's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
You know,
So
like,
how was the show though? Was it pretty good?
oh,
or-
it's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Loved it.
I've seen bits and pieces of it on YouTube.
It's like the whole atmosphere was like
Really good.
dark. It had like the spiral light show going around in different areas. You know, it's like being at the setting of Muppets. You know, it like because it had like the balcony thing in the corner as well. You know, like
Oh, yeah.
right above where the stage is. And I'm thinking, I'm like, there's gonna be that old fucking couple right there.
Waldorf and Statler.
Yeah, I'm like, get the fuck up, and
Stage.
yeah. But here's a question. How about we call it, what's your favorite Muppet?
Oh God, no. That's another thing, man.
All right, here we go. I get the good fucking questions.
I do get the good. Yeah. I gotta say, mine is between.
I know.
What do you think I'm gonna say?
I think you're gonna say Ozzy is one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fozzie
And Gonzo.
No, Fozzie and Kermit.
Kermit,
Like
yeah.
I love Kermit. I like Kermit, and actually, I really love Miss Piggy.
What?
She cracks me up.
She
man.
is funny though.
But I'd say Fozzie. Well, I'm just go top 5. So Fozzie, then Kermit, and then Gonzo, and then Miss Piggy, and then Animal.
Oh, Animal's my number one.
It's hard to beat
always
Fozzie.
loved Rolf.
Rolf,
I
Rolf
like
was good
Rolf
too.
They don't show him as much love now in these newer stuff. You don't see
No,
Rolf
yeah.
as much, but I, I've always loved him.
I love the Muppet
And he
Show,
was
man. I
in-
got them all on DVD.
Wait, wasn't Rolf in Muppet Babies?
Yeah,
the
they all
original.
were
Yeah.
movies,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your five? Well, we got Steve's top 5. Okay, let's get everybody else's top 5.
Oh gosh,
Oh
Christine.
God. Oh, and well, Animal's my number one.
Yeah.
I like Gonzo.
Yeah, Gonzo's great.
Gonzo'd be my number 2. I don't really like Fozzie.
What?
I don't know. There's just something
is
about
wrong
that bear.
with you?
I don't.
First,
mean,
you've
I
never
like him,
seen the
okay.
other thing. Now, first you've never
Do
seen.
you really
Spaceballs.
know me?
Now you don't like Fuzzy.
Well, it's not okay. I like Fozzie, but he's not in my
You
top
can't bash
5.
it. All right, we'll just
Okay.
say.
All
He's
right.
not my top 5.
Oh, I love the Eagle too. I can't think of his name.
I can't
now.
think of the
All
eagle,
a
but I
sudden.
like, what is it? Dr.
your turn
Teeth?
is over.
Isn't it Dr. Teeth?
Yes,
Yeah.
Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
I like Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, so they're like my number 3.
They're good. They're all.
So I got
good.
Animal, Gonzo, Dr. Teeth.
Wait, what do you mean?
Kermit's
there?
my
You're
number.
getting more-
Kermit's my number 5.
Okay.
Tina.
I
Tina.
know.
As a child.
Tina.
Wait, we got number 4, right? You gotta get.
Oh,
number
the old
Oh.
guys. The old guys are my number 4.
Oh, okay. We'll put that.
Yes, I love all of them, man. I grew up.
I
with
love
the Muppets.
number 1 is Rolf.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm
Wait,
laughing.
you like Beaker?
You know number 2
Beaker?
is Beaker.
Yes.
Beaker.
Oh my God,
yeah, I know
Beaker.
my wife.
Oh, Beaker.
On the Christmas the song when he goes me, 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 like I almost die every time, and I've heard it like a
The 12
million
days, the 12
times.
days of Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Gonzo because I love his relationship with the chickens.
The chickens,
Yeah.
yes.
Which I want to get
There it
back
is,
to
right?
this real quick. Wait, but okay. While I'm talking about chickens, if you have the soundtrack to that one movie when it's just the chickens singing "Forget You,"
Forget you. Yeah. They're
it's hilarious. Okay, so number 4 is Fozzie,
Mm.
and number 5 is I don't know if I'm trying to think of everybody.
I think it's the Waka Waka. I don't like.
Well, he's a bad like
I
comedian.
know he is.
Who have
I
I not
don't
said?
know.
But I don't
Let's
care, man.
see.
There's not if
I guess Miss
everybody gets
Piggy.
everybody gets a little bit of a.
All right, so you got Ralph, Beaker, Gonzo, Fozzie.
Mm-hmm. And Miss
Number
Piggy.
5. Miss Piggy.
Yes,
She is funny though.
I think Miss Piggy's funny.
It's kind of.
But I don't care if
though.
whether
I
you like Kermit or whether you
all
like
the
Kermit or
Muppets.
not. When he sings Rainbow Connection, that just warms my heart. I don't care.
What is it? The something?
Yeah, the dreamers and me.
The Dreamers and
Wait, let's see what this one is.
love it.
I even like the prawn, isn't it? The shrimp or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, the
I love
shrimp.
him.
I love
though.
him.
I think he's
Think of his name.
hilarious.
Kristen, have you seen Muppet Christmas Carol with what Michael Caine?
Michael Caine.
It's
I don't
hilarious.
know
The
if I have
prawn
or
is a
not.
big.
I don't
the
think
prawn
so,
is
but
Prawn
I
is in
love
that
the
one.
prawn. I think he's hilarious, especially because we just watched the Haunted Mansion one.
Yeah.
He was hilarious in that.
But the King Prawn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yes.
he has a
Right.
thing for one of the newscasters in Channel 4, I think. Yeah.
It's so funny. That's
So
hilarious.
yeah, we call it. Mine would be actually Beaker. Yeah.
Beaker, yeah.
Dr. Bunsen Honeydew.
See, Bunsen
Yeah.
Honeydew gets on my nerves. I
Wait,
like Beaker, but I don't like
Oh
Dr.
yeah,
Bunsen
Dr.
Honeydew.
Bunsen.
Well, no, because Dr. Bunsen Honeydew reminds me of my old doctor. So
Oh,
That's
okay.
funny.
Dr. Teeth.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm trying to figure out. There's like the Jabberwocky.
Uh-huh.
You know, because that thing scared the fuck out of me when I was younger. And that big, I can't remember the fucking guy's name, but the ones that walk around.
Yeah, they got a person in them. I can't think of his name either.
Yeah, the big furry
shaggy
one.
Yeah.
Yes, I love him.
Like in the movie, he's looking
He's
for him.
that
and
big monster. He's like,
Yeah, at the very, he busts through
Big
the
nose.
screen at the very end.
Yeah, those are the ones I like. I mean, Animal I love, but that everybody has, like, everybody loves Animal. Yeah.
Steve, you didn't mention the chef.
The Swedish Chef. I was going to bring it up.
Oh,
I like the
Oh,
Swedish
the chef. I forgot about
Chef.
him.
It's hard to pick your top 5 for real.
One I did not
Yeah.
like. One that I did not care for though is the fish guy. He got on my nerves.
Oh, the guy that throws the fish. Yeah. Was he like a juggler or something?
I don't know.
Oh,
what he
yeah.
is. He's annoying.
Yeah, he's kind of annoying.
Wait, hold on. Let's see what this one is. I'm trying to learn these what you call it, the sound things, and then it's like "Ode to Joy, the Muppets." Oh, same one. Okay. It sounds like Miss Piggy though. Yeah.
It does sound
It
like
does
Miss
kinda
Piggy,
sound
that's
like her.
right.
Yeah, that one sounds like Miss Piggy. Yeah. But wait. Okay, is this gonna stop now? Oh God, I'm gonna die. This is even longer, people. We're gonna get typecast.
That's so funny.
He's all me in the back.
Something's always happened to him.
Oh
and-
Jesus! So where to stop?
Well, I never liked Scooter either. He was
No, I couldn't stand
I
Scooter.
didn't like Scooter and Muppet Babies either. I was like, why is he here?
Scooter's kind of.
I didn't like Scooter.
Alrighty.
Scooter.
All right, now that's the one we saw. I got to shut up the whole fucking thing.
That's so funny.
But also, tell everybody where they can find you folks at. We're getting near the end. We're at like an hour and a half.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it's been so much fun.
So you can find us on pretty much anywhere you can get a podcast: Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast,
Podbean
Podbean,
and that Good Pods.
Good
too.
Pods. We're on Good Pods, and we're also on was it Pocket? What is it?
Yeah. Pocket Cast.
Pocket
Yeah,
Cast.
Pocket Cast. Yeah.
Yeah. And is that it?
Hold on.
You should get like a link tree or something to put all this.
Yeah, I
stuff.
have a
Yeah, we
link.
got
I
a-
do have a link tree.
Oh, there we go.
I'm trying to see. Yeah.
That's all of them. I think that's all the ones we're on.
Well, I have all the apps on my phone. Breaker, we're on Breaker too.
Yeah,
And there's a few more that are coming out.
pretty much on all of them.
I haven't
All
got
the big
one
ones
yet.
for sure.
Yeah, we're on Twitter, at After Malice. We're on Instagram at Malice After Midnight Podcast, and our email is maliceaftermidnight@gmail.com.
Yeah.
But I have
Send all your complaints to Christine.
I have a question. I actually have a newer question other than the Betty White Keith Richards.
Okay.
Because
Uh-oh.
this came to me from Vinny from Chat Smash.
Oh, that's my show, man.
Honorable
I
mention.
ain't been on there
All
with
I
them
can
guys
say
yet.
is Rango.
Yeah, I've
That was
I think
hilarious.
that is a good show,
I
man.
love
I
that
love Chat
movie,
Smash.
Rango.
But
He's like,
because I had Vinny on with, actually I thought it was just gonna be Vinny,
Uh-huh.
but then it turned out they made a whole skit for my show.
Oh,
oh,
crap.
awesome.
So they did like Vinny was talking by the table, and
Uh-huh.
then Big Floss pops up and he goes, "Hey, I'm a soldier from the West," and and I'm like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck?" And then there's like Finn,
Then-
comes in and he goes, "My name is Dr. Honey," and I'm like,
oh, yeah, he always has a different name. and
Yeah, he
all
always
that.
has a different name. So
Yeah,
I
they
was
crack me.
like,
I love British humor anyway, but they crack me up.
Yeah,
man.
for real.
yeah,
I
it was
just discovered
like,
them
oh.
recently, and I binged most of their episodes here recently. They're short too, though. Their shows are pretty short. It's easy to listen
Yeah.
to quite a few of them.
Yeah, especially when they have the gravity grill and.
Yeah.
But they said they're going to try to do like a second season, but they're going to do something different, like more like I guess what they did on my show, a little bit
YouTube.
of, yeah.
Yeah.
So a little bit of that. But my question would be, and they like I said, Vinny brought this question to me about it, and he goes, "How about this? How about Keith Richards and Mick Jagger? Who would pass away first?"
Keith Richards.
Mick
Mick
Jagger
Jagger
is
is
all about. Mick Jagger is
never
working
gonna
out
die.
constantly.
He's
He's
never
got a
gonna
lot of fitness. But I think Keith Richards is like, I think he's just an anomaly that's going to live forever. So I'm going to say Keith Richards is going to outlive everybody. My
All right,
favorite
so
member of the Stones
who's-
already died, Charlie Watts.
Who's going to put the first foot in the ground? So you're saying Mick Jagger?
I'm saying Jagger's going to go first.
I'm
Okay.
going with Keith Richards.
Keith-
Do
I
I
think
have
Mick
to
Jagger is never
Do
gonna
I have to say somebody?
You want to? You don't have to. But
I'm gonna go with Keith Richards. I'm gonna go then. But also,
Hopefully it'll be a long time from now.
yeah,
there.
hopefully. Have you seen? Have you seen the thing that somebody did? And it's freaking hilarious.
Yes.
It's like they took what's that song called?
Remember
It's
that
Keith-
video for no,
it's
it's
Mick
Mick Jagger and David Bowie
And
doing
David-
dancing in the streets.
Yep.
But somebody
Yeah.
took the music
So
out.
you see, there's a video where somebody removed the music and they've just got like sound effects of people snapping and going, and they're like
it's just
dancing.
like, ooh, hey, dancing, it's hilarious.
you
Like,
gotta watch
You can
that.
hear like them tap. It's
Somebody
funny.
made a fake sound
It's
effects to the back of it. And it's
hilarious.
hilarious.
But yeah, hopefully it'll be a long time. But yeah, I'll just
Yeah.
say.
everybody
I just think-
check that out. I'm going to check it out myself too. 'Cause
It's hilarious.
It's
Like-
absolutely hilarious.
I'm going to sit there with my iced tea and my corn chips and go like, what the fuck? No. But also check out myself at Linktree, linktr.ee/Tattoo Squid Podcast. That's TA2SQUID. And it has like everything from, oh, what the fuck is it now? What do I got in there? I got merch. I got Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Anchor, and a slew of others. And just like email me at tattoosquid@gmail.com. If you want questions, who you want me to interview next. Also, when you go to the YouTube, go and like, subscribe, hit that notification button or that bell that sounds like Taco Bell. And then you can find out more videos that I have of other people, like Jennifer Willie. I mean, like Malice After Midnight, or and any other ones like Chat Smash, or I don't have Piggly Dog yet, but Break On Through, and I Need to Get Drunk Theory on, and a slew of others. There's a lot of them. Berry Pleasures, Trash Panda, which I didn't put that one out yet, but it's coming up.
Yeah, those are
So-
good. Those are good.
But thank you, folks. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for having us. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, so much fun.
That's what it is. Like I've been called the late night talk show host. For
I
podcasts.
like just shooting the bullshit with somebody. That's fun.
Yeah, it's like it's
Yeah,
like
you know.
instead of doing the monotonous of just doing a podcast and just sit back and just relax and
Yeah.
have a good thing. Now, if I had a band, I'd be like, hey, cue the band, but no,
Yeah.
it won't work. But anyway,
Ah.
Doc Severinsen in the background.
yeah, I know it'd be like some guy, or it could be Chewy, that with
Oh yeah, it could be Chewy.
yeah, Chewy from Chelsea Handler, and but you wouldn't be able to see him because he's that fucking tall.
Yeah.
He had to look over going, hey, come out here, But also, folks, I'm just pretty much done. But I'm going to talk to them, for a few minutes here, just to see their thoughts about the show. Everybody, have a good night. Go follow Malice After Midnight. Follow Tattoo Squid Podcast. Go to the links. Go follow everything from Instagram to TikTok to wherever you can find us anywhere.
We're not hard to find.
Yeah, we're not hard to find, but also we're gonna need some followers because I need to
yeah.
make a live on
Not hard to
TikTok,
find.
and I need 1,000.
Yeah.
So, folks, take it easy, and let me go and talk to the rest of the gang.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.